Everyone's favorite genre. First-person shooters. This genre literally carries Steam. It's kind of insane. I mean, just look at how many shooter games there are on Steam's charts. It's like half the list. But when you look at Roblox's popular games, where are the shooters? Wait, that sounds wrong. Where are the FPSs? You might find this surprising, but let's be real. It's really not.
No, go away. No.
It's very obvious that most Roblox players are little babies. Fresh out of the hospital because they're probably playing on their mom's phone.
And they want me to buy the Robux, you have to pay for it.
It's kind of hard to play a first-person shooter on a phone. Actually, it's borderline impossible. And if you don't believe me, then I dare you to try it. I'll wait. Exactly. So I had a genius idea to make an FPS but give everybody aimbot. Oh, wait. You already read the title? Oh, my bad. Oh, and someone's already done this before? Multiple people have? What? Well, guess what, Chaser Rooney? I'm here to steal your idea and get more visits than you because that's the Roblox way, baby.
Okay, realistically, that won't happen.
For real though, I will be innovating upon the idea. Don't hate on me just yet. I'm not like one of those people that just copy and paste ideas. I'm looking at you guys. And if you think giving everybody aimbot is a bad idea, just look at this. Like, this is the type of situation that if I were the other player, I would just wish I had aimbot. And like this right here, like, come on. Like, he got destroyed. And this is just a cool clip I wanted to show you guys. Like, I don't know about you, but don't you want to ruin that 6-year-old's day? No? Well, I do. So here's how I'm gonna do this. Wait, how do I even script an aimbot? Let's ask ChatGPT. Oh, okay. Now we're talking, baby.
Look at this. This is my target right here, and I'm looking here, right? Oh my god, it locks on.
But now, should only lock on when the player's crosshair is close to an enemy. Because, you know, we still want to have some sort of skill-based gameplay here. But how do I do that? Oh, what the is a dot?
For univectors, the result of the projection of A onto B.
Okay, now our aimbot is more of an aim assist on steroids because we need that skill-based gameplay. Otherwise, the game is no fun. This game's gonna attract the little goo gaga players because they're gonna need it. Next, we gotta implement the logic for a gun. There's two important things for a gun. You've gotta shoot and you've gotta reload. And boom, there it is. I know you can't tell that I'm shooting, but our ammo is going down, so that's the evidence. And we can reload. I know I'm missing a gun model, but just pretend that this is the invisible gun. I'll definitely be selling this for Roblox. My favorite part about aimbot, and I mean aimbot games, I would never cheat in a game because I'm not a loser, and I will snitch the builder man if you do. Anyway, so my favorite part about aimbot is the overlay it puts over your screen, and I only know about the overlays because I've seen clips, okay? I've never cheated. And there's two things that make up the overlay. One is the outline around the enemies, and then second, we've got the line that goes from the crosshair to the enemies.
So by projecting 8 different points from the player's origin based on the character's dimensions, and then getting the point pixel position on the screen, I can calculate the pixel size and orientation of each segment compromising the board.
Perhaps that was a bit too much effort for this effect. That's why my upload schedule is the way it is. So please subscribe to motivate me to work. With all the aimbot mechanics done, we need an actual first-person shooter. You know, there needs to be an actual game. I started with the ability to damage other players. You know, you got to be able to shoot them with this like cool highlight effect whenever you hit them, plus a hit marker, and with this like damage number thing that like Fortnite invented. I have no idea what they're called. Because, you know, all these flares just make a game feel really good, and you know, that's what matters. It's the way it feels. You know, there's like one thing that can make any Roblox game blow up. There's like a million videos on YouTube on how to make a big Roblox game, but they've never mentioned this one singular thing because they don't want anyone to know, and it's ragdoll. All you need is a ragdoll. So I added ragdolls with knockback. You know, that makes it even better. The combination of knockback and ragdolls are all you need to make a successful Roblox game. At least that's what I hope.
Let's try it again. Oh.
Right now, when you get shot, there's no way for you to know that you got shot. I implemented this little thing, which every FPS game has, like a little frame that appears on the screen and it will point to the direction you got shot from. And it works perfectly, of course. And I want to say that the math for this was tricky because it was, but here's the thing. I didn't do it. I just yoinked it off some other person.
I found this code, which, you know, I stole. I have no idea, by the way, what's going on in this math.
So at this point, you know, I just had to take my break the same way that I did with the last video. So I took a 5-week break from working on this game, went on vacation for a little bit, then worked on some other things. But the point is, when I eventually returned, I got back to coding, right? And I immediately ran into a problem. Let me introduce you to this video sponsor, Coopert. If you're a smart shopper like me, then right before you hit place order at checkout, you open up a new tab to find a coupon. Because come on, you just gotta enter something in that box. And yeah, sometimes it works, which feels amazing. But most of the time, you end up on some sketchy sites clicking expired codes from 2017. And that's where Coopert comes into play. Coopert is a free browser extension that automatically does all the hard work for you, searching the internet for the best coupons and applying them right at checkout. Coopert doesn't just stop at coupons, it also compares prices across different websites for the same item to find you the best possible deal, which is personally one of my favorite features. And lastly, Coopert also offers you cashback from over 76,000 retailers, including Best Buy, eBay, Walmart, and many, many more. In fact, 76,000 more. With over 6 million weekly active users on desktop and another 3 million weekly active users on mobile, Coopert is a great choice for savvy shoppers. You can find the link for Coopert in the description below. And thank you, Coopert, for sponsoring this video. I forgot how to script. Okay, but not really, but I was using a system to build out the user interface, aka all the 2D stuff on the screen, and I completely forgot how to use it. So you know what I did? That's right, I restarted everything. And I decided to use the famous, glorious other system called React, something that I knew almost nothing about before this. And for about 2 days, I rewrote like basically all the code to support React. So while I did not really do anything, I spent like a good 20 hours of work redoing everything. And you guys can't tell. And you know how sad that makes me. Anyways, we can ignore all that effort I put in because you really can't see anything. Okay, I'll just give you some snippets of the code, you know, so at least like, you know, I can feel like I actually did something. And then at a certain point, I wanted to make a real gun. You know, I don't want this little invisible shit. So I got started on building a gun. Okay, listen, before you judge me, I know I develop games, but 90% of my skills lie in scripting. I can't do anything else for the most part. And truly, like, this is good enough for what I wanted to do. I just wanted to like have something to animate. So, the animations also needed to be done procedurally, meaning I had to like do it using code. So I can't use keyframes with an animator. So I had to code all the animations so that the movements feel more natural with the player's inputs. And I had a decent go at this. You know, I had an idea of how it needed to be done. I had to use the springs. But then I quickly learned that Cloud is an absolute unit when it comes to scripting. And it's honestly better than ChatGPT. It had to be said. Because it got me exactly what I was looking for. Even though I had to walk it through exactly how it needed to work, which is like sort of expected. Can't really read my mind. It was insane. Like using AI for scripting is sort of like using an escalator instead of taking the stairs. To be fair, most people expect it to be like a magic carpet, but if you actually know some level of scripting, it's so useful. Anyways, rant over. So now the gun sways when you move your camera around, as well as bobs when you're walking. This is exactly why I decided to script the animations. This way I can stack multiple animations on top of each other. So your gun bobs while you're swaying, and I think it looks amazing. So next is a gun. We need an actual gun, this little stick. I know I called it a gun previously, but this is not a gun. This is terrible. So I tried my best to copy a gun from Unturned, the game that's sort of low poly and looks like Roblox. And while it looked decent while building it, honestly doesn't look too bad. It looked so good when testing it in first person. So I just yoinked some gun models from the toolbox and picked my favorite one. Actually, I didn't really pick my favorite one. I went through a few and then eventually this one looked the best. Honestly, all of them look good, but this one is exactly what I was looking for. So while I was happy with the gun, it still felt like something was missing. Something big. Something very obvious. You should be able to tell what was missing here. That's right, the arms. Our guy is armless. While there's nothing wrong with being armless, the floating gun looks a bit weird. So I added these like two little meshes that look like an arm, and that's about it. So now it looks great, but there's one more problem, and I know someone's gonna be complaining about it. The arm is white. Not very inclusive. You know, like the arm color should be whatever the player's real Roblox character's arm colors are. So I got that done. That was actually pretty simple. So now that we've got a gun, an aimbot, and arms, we're still missing the core game loop though. Like you can shoot people, all right, but like how do I win in this game? How do I score points? The truth is, there's countless ways you can do this, which is a really good thing because that means I can script many different things in the future, and this is gonna be very fun. But I still decided to stick to something simple and familiar, and that decision was an FFA, with the winner being whoever has the most kills by the end of the round. And for that, we're gonna need a countdown, and there it is. And then I yoinked Arsenal's top bar idea. It shows off how many kills each of the players has. Now, quick break. I gotta ask, why does Arsenal look exactly the same as it did back in 2020? Like, I can't tell if the devs abandoned the game or what, but the game feels ancient by current standards. But I wish I can go back to that era. I had such little competitions or expectations for Roblox games were so low, and now there's so much. Like, I gotta do so much. At this point, I was honestly nearly done with the game. I just had to work on some finishing touches. So I added some sound effects for when you hit a player, when you get hit, when you die, you know, fun stuff. Then I got brainstorming on the map. Initially, I was gonna take the lazy way out and just use the OG Roblox Crossroads map, but I didn't want to completely copy Chase Rooney here because that's what he did. So I thought of recreating Nuketown from Call of Duty, which is honestly a good idea, but didn't have the time for it. I needed to get this video out. So instead, I tried finding a Nuketown map from the toolbox. They all looked mid. So I kept digging around the toolbox until until I found something that's actually quite interesting. A basic first-person shooter map that is actually good, and that is exactly what I used. See, I can build my own maps in the future. That's not the problem. It's just more of a time constraint thing right now. And really, I just want something to have while testing the game, because I don't even know if the game is any good yet. Okay, now let me read out a note I wrote a few days ago while developing this. So on August 13th, 2025, I wrote, I spent 2 hours trying to apply an animation at 2 a.m. To hold a gum in third person should have taken 2 minutes. I didn't know animations got to load. I don't know if you can tell, but I was very frustrated at this time. At least I got it working. That's what matters. I also added buttons so that the game is playable on mobile. Most Roblox players play on mobile, so I should not neglect them. And honestly, I think this game is probably more fun for mobile players because of the aimbot. Because if you're playing on PC, you know, you might as well just play like an actual first-person shooter that doesn't have aimbot. So that's gonna be all for this video. If you want to check out the game, it's gonna be in the description below. And please just give me ideas and suggestions, because there's definitely gonna be a part 2 for this.